We could see a very big shakeup this weekend in the way Democrats choose their presidential candidates. For more than 50 years now, it's worked like this. The road to the nomination has started with the caucuses in Iowa, and then there's New Hampshire's first-in-the-nation primary. Well, President Biden wants to change that, and some Democrats do not like the idea. Ed O'Keefe traveled to New Hampshire, where primary voters could soon lose a great deal of clout and prestige.
The Red Arrow Diner in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, is known for its food and is a must-stop for any presidential candidate.
You have to walk through these doors in order to get into that Oval Office.
But co-owner Amanda Wibby worries that might change if Democrats go through with a plan to drop the Granite State as their first primary.
Every 4 years, they descend upon us, and I think a lot of people, customers, would be disappointed that if it was taken from us.
Democrats are set to approve a new calendar Saturday that moves South Carolina's primary to the front, followed by a combo of New Hampshire and Nevada 3 days later. Battlegrounds Georgia and Michigan would also move up, while Iowa is being pushed farther back.
All right, let's take a look at our returns.
This is especially stinging to New Hampshire, which has held the first primary since the 1920s. Bill Clinton didn't win here, and yet
New Hampshire tonight has made Bill Clinton the comeback kid.
16 years later, Hillary Clinton did win the state after tearing up on the campaign trail.
I just don't want to see us fall backwards.
But Joe Biden placed fourth in 2020 and now is arguing change is overdue.
This proposal by President Biden will reflect the strength of America's greatest asset, and that is our diversity.
The argument is New Hampshire, with just over 1 million residents, is too small, rural, and white, not reflective of the changing country. New Hampshire Democratic Party Chairman Ray Buckley strongly disagrees.
We are supportive of diversity across the country. We are not opposed to bringing in other states, but the fact is that New Hampshire is going to be the first.
And New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen warns the changes could upset voters in her swing state and cost Democrats votes in November.
In 2000, Al Gore would have been president without Florida if he had won New Hampshire, and he came within just a few thousand votes of winning New Hampshire.
New Hampshire takes the primary so seriously, it even has a state law requiring its primary be the first in the nation. National Democrats want that law dropped, but Republican Governor Chris Sununu, who's also thinking about running for president, says that won't happen.
It's an absolute joke. It's not based on anything to ensure that the voters in America will have a better first filter. It's just based on a personal preference of a candidate.
Back at the Red Arrow, Manchester resident Stu Holzhauser thinks the proposed change is foolish.
I like it being first. I think it's good for the state, and I think it is a good reflection of the country.
But his brother, Bill, visiting from North Carolina, takes a different view.
If the objective is to get a more diverse perspective in that first tranche of states that go, then a different approach might be warranted.
President Biden and Vice President Harris will be here in Philadelphia today to meet with the Democratic National Committee before they hold that vote on the primary calendar tomorrow. Of course, New Hampshire could still go first, and the party could punish them, taking away their delegates to the 2024 convention. This is kind of an academic exercise, however, because remember, we're anticipating the president will run for re-election, won't face any major primary challenger, and there's a clause in this new plan. They can revisit it all in 4 years and redraw the calendar yet again. Tony?
Yeah, but Ed, it does matter to us journalists. The last time I covered a primary in New Hampshire, I interviewed voters while ice fishing, and I don't believe they have that activity in South Carolina, and personally, I'm okay with that. Thanks a lot, Ed. We know you'll be on top of it.